entrance. Fox 21's Abby Burke joins us live in the studio now with the latest. Abby?
Nikki, the slide closed down one of the westbound lanes and caused delays as crews worked to clear the scene. The highway was reopened shortly after 8 this morning. This is the second rock slide on Highway 24 we've seen in recent weeks, and CDOT says it's just that time of year. They say rock slides are caused by a number of different things like freeze-thaw cycles and rain. CDOT says they try to reduce the risk of rock slides in the area, but they can't be totally prevented.
You see we put barriers up there a lot of times to try to prevent the splatter out on the road. Ditches are shaped to keep the rock in the ditches and not fall out on the road. There's a lot of measures that we use that are preventative, but nothing is 100%.
CDOT says drivers need to be aware of their surroundings, especially during this time of year, and be cautious as they head through the mountain around those blind curves. Nikki, back to you downtown.
All right, Abby, thanks so much for that report tonight. Well, how long will this rain last? Let's turn to Chief Meteorologist Terry Gerset now with more in our Fox Fastcast. Terry?
Nikki, it's going to last through the evening hours and overnight. Tomorrow we start to dry out, but it's not going to be totally dry. Quick check outside. We're still seeing some rain out there and some dark clouds, and it's a little bit chilly. Let's take a look at that True View Doppler, and you can see isolated showers and thunderstorms throughout much of the east, kind of moving in from the northeast off to the southwest. A little unusual, but that's the way it is with this particular storm. We'll close in on El Paso County, and you can see some stronger storms basically along into the north of 94 there. If you're along 94 or off to the south, you got some of these storms coming your way, and some snow over the higher elevations. A little bit closer here on the burn area, and it looks like the west end of the Waldo Canyon burn area may be getting a little bit of a rain-snow mix, mostly some light rain on the eastern end, but there still is a flash flood watch in effect for that area. That's the burn area and the areas surrounding it, places like Mountain Shadows, Colorado City, and Manitou Springs. That's until 8 o'clock tonight, so there's the potential for some flash flooding if we get some stronger or heavier rains moving over the area. We are expecting some isolated showers through the evening hours, both Colorado Springs and Pueblo. Colorado Springs temperatures hanging mostly in the 40s. In Pueblo, start in the 50s and up into the mid-40s. So tonight, a little bit of rain. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, will start to dry out, but it's a slow process. We still have a chance of showers in the afternoon. We'll talk about that forecast coming up in about 9 minutes. Right now, back downtown. Nikki.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Terry. Governor John Hickenlooper getting an annual briefing today about wildfire risks for this summer. State and federal officials updating him on the wildfire danger as well as preparedness efforts. They say even though we've had some moisture this spring, the state is still in a drought, especially in the southeast areas, including parts of Pueblo and El Paso counties. Colorado Springs police releasing the name of the victim from the latest homicide investigation. 38-year-old Juan Carlos Lopez Herrera died from stab wounds. It happened just after midnight Wednesday near Austin Bluffs in Woodman. 20-year-old Elton Lamar Johnson was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. This marks the city's 14th homicide this year. The district attorney's office going forward and filing charges against a sergeant with the Colorado Springs Police Department. 53-year-old Sergeant James Gutierrez was arrested for felony theft and forgery. He was responsible for overseeing the motor vehicle theft unit and grant funds. Authorities say Gutierrez turned in his letter of retirement that will go into effect tomorrow. Making news across America tonight, the body of suspected Boston Marathon bomber Tamerlan Zernaya has been moved from a Worcester, Massachusetts funeral home. That's where it was being held. An unidentified person came for the remains to properly bury them at an undisclosed location. The funeral home trying unsuccessfully for weeks to find a cemetery or community willing to take that body. The Cleveland man charged with kidnapping and raping 3 women for years is now in a county jail. Ariel Castro's brothers, who were also arrested, are now being released because they're not charged with any crimes against the women. Prosecutors holding a press conference today to discuss that case. They say they fully intend to seek all charges against Castro for all the crimes he committed over the years. The nation's capital getting a royal treat as Prince Harry stops by for a visit. 28-year-old accompanied by Senator John McCain while visiting an exhibit on Capitol Hill. Harry's in town to promote Britain, raise money for charity, and meet with wounded veterans. After D.C., he'll head to Colorado Springs and visit the Olympic Training Center and the Air Force Academy. Fort Carson holding a memorial service today for 2 soldiers killed in Kuwait last week. Specialist Trinidad Santiago Jr. and Specialist Charles McClure were both with the 4th ID. They were killed in a vehicle crash May 2nd. Memorial service honoring the soldiers with the traditional roll call, a rifle squad salute, and a final tribute. One soldier remembers Specialist McClure as a go-getter and a positive man.
I'll miss seeing him one of the only smiling faces every single morning, no matter what was going on. Coming in, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, coming in and always looking at him, and he was always either in the right uniform and with a big smile on his face, no matter what we were doing, always ready to go.
Staff Sergeant Pickren says he spent less time with Specialist Santiago, but says he was also a motivated soldier. NORAD celebrating its 55th anniversary today. A ceremony was held at its headquarters at Peterson Air Force Base. NORAD is a joint U.S.-Canada command responsible for defending the skies over both nations and monitoring sea approaches. Of course, it tracks Santa Claus every Christmas Eve. It's known for a command post dug deep inside Cheyenne Mountain during the Cold War to protect it from missile attack. It's since been moved above ground. Well, we have some good news for you tonight. A brave 11-year-old who came to her mom's rescue is being honored for her quick action and thinking today. Taya Santos receiving the 911 Hero Award this afternoon from the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. 7 weeks ago, her mother fell into a yard machine. She was afraid she would lose vision in one eye. Taya took charge, keeping her mom calm, and dialed 911, taking instructions from emergency dispatchers.
He told me how to stop the bleeding, and then my brother was in the driveway directing the paramedics and firefighters to the house.
Taya has been in law enforcement for 16 years and has practiced what to do with them in case of an emergency. Taya plans to celebrate her award with her family by going out for milkshakes tonight. Sounds pretty fun, right? The federal budget cuts taking a toll on the National Weather Service. We'll tell you what that means for forecasters. Plus, Terry will have your forecast. That's right after the break.
You are watching Fox 21 News at 6:30. Live from downtown Colorado Springs, this is Fox 21 News at 6:30.
Furloughs are in the forecast for National Weather Service employees, but some workers at the agency say fewer people on duty may mean a higher likelihood of insufficient warnings. Lauren Casey reports.
Think about what happened in the metro here a couple years ago where we had the tornado go through the North Metro, if there was no warning for that.
The unimaginable may soon become a reality for residents of Minnesota and all across the country as the National Weather Service confronts massive budget cuts. The cuts are a result of the federal sequester.
It just came down from our parent organization, NOAA, that they would like to implement furloughs for all of the NOAA line officers, including the National Weather Service, for potentially up to 4 days.
Already contending with a hiring freeze, the proposed furloughs would impact 12,000 NOAA employees, including those at the National Hurricane Center and 122 local weather service offices nationwide, forcing time off for forecasters who track Mother Nature, who never takes time off.
That day that NOAA wants to have the furlough, we can't exactly say, no, we need the tornado to wait for 8 hours until we can call somebody in. You're talking in a large metropolitan area, thousands and thousands of people that could be in the path of a tornado, and you just don't have the warning that it's going out.
This potentially dangerous scenario comes with very poor timing locally.
The 4 days that have been selected are 2 days in July, 2 days in August. Those climatologically are the 2 months that we see second and third highest ranked that we see severe weather here in the Twin Cities area.
Well, that was Lauren Casey reporting. The designated furlough dates are July 5th and 19th and August 5th and 30th. Terry?
For us today, cloudy, cool, and yeah, we had those rain showers off and on. Let's take a look at the temperatures right now. 46 in Colorado Springs, 53 in Pueblo. We do have some low 60s there in La Junta and Lamar, 58 Springfield, 51 Lyman, and 52 right now in Alamosa. We'll take a look at that TrueView Doppler once again, and as you can see, we're looking at some snow in Teller County over the Wet Mountains and the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. Kind of a rain-snow mix in many areas there. East of the mountains, it's all rain showers and some thunderstorms. Strongest weather just off to the north of Colorado Springs and extending out toward Lamar. Moving off to the south-southwest, so if you're looking off to the northeast and you see some lightning or some thunder, that's probably, or see some rain that is, that's probably coming your direction. There's downtown Colorado Springs right there. You can see that moisture moving in our direction, although it appears as though those storms are losing a little bit of their intensity as they get closer to Colorado Springs, but still, we're going to see some rain again through the evening hours. Then things start to taper off a little bit overnight, but they're not going to disappear completely. Some of those will pop up again tomorrow afternoon. All right, let's take a look and see what Future View says, and we will look for some rain overnight. Then it starts to clear out, and we'll see some clouds early tomorrow morning. We may see a little bit of sunshine as the day goes on. We'll call it partly cloudy, but again, there's that lingering moisture, so some isolated showers and thunderstorms in the eastern portion of the state, and some isolated rain and snow showers over the higher elevations overnight tomorrow night. That starts to move out as we start Saturday, especially in the southern portion of the state. We're looking for some sunshine, but some clouds along a weak front. That's going to move through. We'll see the cloudiness pick up during the day and a few very isolated showers or thunderstorms coming up on Saturday. All in all, Saturday doesn't look too bad, but Sunday looks even better, and we're going to talk about that later on. We'll take a look at that forecast for tonight. It's going to be a little breezy out there, some rain and snow over the higher elevations. Eastern Colorado, some rain and maybe some thunder to go with it. 41 year low in Lamar, 39 in Kit Carson, 40 around Fountain, 39 in Canyon City, 33 in Salida, right around 30 in Woodland Park. For tomorrow, we'll look for partly cloudy skies with some isolated showers over the mountains, isolated showers or thunderstorms in the eastern part of the state. Could get to around 70 there in Lamar, 67 in Springfield, 68 Kit Carson, likewise Canyon City, 60s in Salida, Alamosa, also in Wassenberg and Trinidad, 65 in Fountain, and upper 50s in Monument and Black Forest. What's that forecast look like? Well, we're going to check it right now. For Colorado Springs, mostly cloudy overnight, some isolated showers likely. Look for a low temperature of 37. In Pueblo, you too could see some isolated showers. Otherwise, look for a low temperature of 41 degrees. And coming up for tomorrow, we'll look for partly cloudy skies, slight chance of showers or thunderstorms. It's going to be warmer though, high temperature of 63 degrees, and in Pueblo, slight chance of storms, otherwise partly cloudy at a high temperature right around 69. And remember, you can always get your forecast on our Fox 21 mobile app, powered by Fox 21 News and brought to you by Pueblo Toyota. So a little improvement tomorrow, but still a chance of those isolated storms in the afternoon. As you saw Saturday, not too bad. Sunday, Mother's Day, we're going to talk about that later on in the show, and it looks good. Right now, back downtown. Nikki.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Terry. We're talking ways to recycle in the community with Western Scrap. That live interview coming up next.
Sounds great, thank you. Okay,
Hey, I think we're going to need the chairs. Unfortunately. The chairs. They're very awkward, but
good.
it does look better if we're sitting when we don't really have anything to show. But they're just hard to get in. They're very high. Awkward. You can just scoot this out of the way. Cool, thanks. What?
Okay, go ahead and talk. Hi.
Just count to 10.
1, 2, 3, 4. Should I talk loud? I mean, you're
Just
like
normal.
screaming at the thing
I know,
here,
I'm
so.
very loud.
Yeah.
I'm just a...
I'm like, whoa, calm down.
It's like,
I'm really excited
wow.
Really excited to be at work, huh?
I was such a loud talker. It's very abnormal.
She's like, Western scrap. I'm
Western
like,
scrap!
Stop it,
Stick
stop
with
it.
us! That line- Well, joining us tonight for our Foxy Moms Go Green segment is Joe Yost from Western Scrap. So first, thanks for coming in tonight.
Well, thanks for having me.
And we have to let everyone know Western Scrap sponsors our Foxy Mom segment, so people may see, oh, Foxy Mom segment, why is a guy sitting there with her? But
Well, obviously.
just to make that clear
Yeah.
for the folks at home. So we're talking recycling, and a lot of times the excuse that I always hear is, it's just too time consuming. We don't have time to recycle. So what's your response to something like that?
Well, we hear that a lot as well, and what we usually tell people is, well, one, there's a huge economic benefit there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money to be made. In fact, our industry is about a $90 billion industry, and
Wow.
that is, if you recycle in your community, you're putting that money right back in the community. Secondly, we all like our air, we all like our water, so we're trying to leave it here for our kids.
Mm-hmm. Well, talk about some of the things that end up in the landfill that obviously shouldn't be there.
Yeah, well, everything.
Just about
Yeah,
everything,
just
right?
about, yeah. So you can recycle your old appliances, your washers, your dryers, your barbecue grills, you can, old patio furniture, anything made out of metal. If it looks like it's metal, if you kind of think that it might be metal or it's, you don't even know, just bring it down to us. We'll probably buy it.
Well, and obviously if you drive by a landfill, it doesn't, take a genius to realize that that has to be really, really bad for the environment. So talk about why having landfills and so many of them and seeing them build up over the years is hurting our environment.
Well, things can leach out of a landfill. There can be chemicals that come off of industrial waste, and then obviously you're throwing away things that are valuable.
Right.
But for the peace of mind, at least if it's in a landfill, we know where to get it later.
Sure.
We can always come back for it.
Now, is there anything you won't take at Western Scrap?
Hazardous waste,
Okay.
Just general trash,
Common
that
sense
kind of
stuff.
stuff. Yeah,
All right.
bodies.
That's probably a good thing. All right, well, if you would like to submit your green living tips for a chance to share them live on our show, all you need to do is log on to our website, fox21news.com, click on the Foxy Moms link near the top of the page. Well, one woman goes to the extremes, and when I say extremes, I mean extremes, to kick the habit. She ends up behind bars. We have more on her story coming up. And paying off student loans is causing some to put their lives on hold. I'll tell you why after the break.
looks just like Jude Law. Didn't Jude Law get caught with hookers?
He did? Making business news tonight, many Americans are apparently being forced to make big lifestyle sacrifices because of student loan debt. They're putting off getting married, buying a home, or saving for retirement. That's according to a survey from the American Institute of CPAs. One reason could be the majority of borrowers didn't anticipate having a tough time repaying the loans. About 1 in 5 households currently carry student loan debt. Well, spending on prescription medicines falls for the first time in decades. According to the IMS Institute for Healthcare, total spending in the U.S. fell in 2005. It's the first drop since IMS started tracking drug prices in 1957. The biggest factor behind the drop, the availability of generic versions. A California woman goes to the extremes to try to quit smoking, and it got her arrested, but that was just as she had planned. Derek Shore explains.
It was totally unprovoked. Deputy Matt Campoy says it came out of nowhere as he left his shift at the Sac County Jail, a woman intentionally blocking his way. And all of a sudden she stepped into me and slapped me in the face. That woman, according to deputies, 31-year-old Etta Lopez. She'd immediately be arrested, but it appears Miss Lopez had a plan, allegedly slapping a cop to kick a habit. She told us that she needed to quit smoking. That's right. Lopez allegedly admitting she sat in front of the county jail for hours, intent on assaulting an officer to get arrested and be put in jail, where she would be forced to stop smoking cigarettes. She explained it with great detail as to why.
There's easier ways to stop smoking besides hitting a cop.
This neighbor who knows Lopez says she does smoke a lot and they used to smoke together. But no buts about it, he can't figure out her alleged nicotine plan.
No, that's not the way I want to quit.
I have not heard of something like that before.
Kimberly Bankston Lee is with the anti-smoking group Breathe California.
If it led somebody to doing something like that just so they can quit, that lets us know as a community that we have a real problem.
But she insists cold cocking a cop isn't a way to quit cold turkey. I've never been assaulted like that.
Well, that was Derek Shore reporting. Stick with us. Terry will have a week's worth of weather coming up next.
take a look at that forecast. Here's the way it shapes up for tomorrow. We'll look for partly cloudy skies. A few isolated showers or thunderstorms later on in the day. Will be warmer. We'll start with temperatures in the upper 30s and low 40s. By noontime, 50s and 60s. Will stay that way most of the afternoon, and at 9 o'clock, 52 in Colorado Springs, 60 in Pueblo. What about the rest of a week's worth? Let's take a look. And for Colorado Springs, again, a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm coming up on Saturday. High temperature is 64. Mother's Day still looking good. As a matter of fact, the new models have the temperatures a little bit warmer than what we had yesterday. We're thinking about 74 right now on Sunday, right around 80 on Monday and Tuesday with a fair amount of sunshine. We'll back it off a little bit, but still in the 70s on Wednesday and Thursday. And in Pueblo, upper 60s, low 70s the next couple of days, right around 80 on Sunday. Then we're well into the 80s on Monday and Tuesday again. Gets a little bit cooler on Wednesday and Thursday, but still not bad weather. Some nice days coming up starting on Sunday. Slight chance of storms tomorrow and again on Saturday. So if you're thinking about Mother's Day, temperatures in the 70s and 80s, it's not going to be all that bad. Enjoy your afternoon. Right now we're headed back downtown to our downtown studio. Nikki.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Terry, and thank you so much for being with us tonight. For more news and weather, you can check out our website, fox21news.com. We'll see you back here tonight at 9. Have a good one.
Abby, are you here? Ian's complaining again. You're still here.
Oh, I'm outside today.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Well, you're getting it, aren't you?
It won't leave.
Whew.
I'll try to stay away from you.
Well, I think I've already had it, so I think I'm okay on this one.
Good, okay.
Unless you got some new bizarre strain of germs.
That's what I'm